When you commit to exploring your dreams, you are giving yourself the possibility to have a direct experience and a direct access to the wisdom of your unconscious. I'm Yasmin, and I've helped over 300 people work with their dreams through arts-based techniques rooted in Jungian psychology. And today I'm going to show you a personal example of mine working with my own dream on how I use painting to explore dreams, specifically the different figures that appear in the dream. There's a lot of different dream techniques and a lot of different ways also to use painting to explore dreams, but this specific technique is universal in a way that it can be used with any kind of dream. So just to give you a little bit of background, the Jungian perspective into dreams is that they work as a regulating function, trying to balance our psyche. So often they have a compensatory nature, meaning that they're trying to bring up something that we may be avoiding or repressing in our conscious daily life. And of course, it speaks to us in its own symbolic language, and our task is not really to understand this symbolic language, but to give the dream its space and time, and most of all, the respect that it really does have something that it wants to tell us, because it is working very hard to tell us that thing. And example of this would be dreams that recur over and over again. It's like the unconscious starts yelling to us louder and louder and louder until we listen. And when we start to listen to these messages that dreams want to tell us, it's like a voice opens to us, which enables us to live more authentically, more in touch with our true self and the true meaning of life that is meant for us. All dream work starts with dream journaling, so keeping a journal by your bed and writing down your dreams each morning. And it might be challenging at first, but once you start doing this, you'll also notice that you'll start seeing more dreams and more meaningful dreams. If this is something that you're struggling with or you want to learn more about dream journaling, I did make a free PDF dream journaling guide, and I'm going to link that for you down below. All right, so let's get to the actual dream work. I started this process by choosing a dream that I was curious about, and then picking from that dream the most impactful, the most powerful scene. And I started by simply painting that scene into my art journal. So the dream that I saw was that I booked into a hotel, and the couple who owned the hotel let me in, and they let me into a room which had a lot of beds in it. And it wasn't until later that I realized that the man who owned the hotel was going to sleep in that same room with me. And that made me very uncomfortable. And then later I realized that there was also another couple in the hotel that was gonna sleep in the same room with me and the guy who owned the hotel. So that made me feel a little bit better. But the overall feeling was that of fear. I felt like I couldn't trust the man. And when I found out that the couple was sleeping there, I felt relief. But still, overall, I felt anxiety. So here I'm just painting very intuitively all the elements from that major scene of being in the room with the couple and the guy, because that was, for me, the most emotionally charged scene. I don't really think about it too much. I just intuitively try to get everything visualized onto the paper without much thinking. So because when painting this scene from my dream, I noticed that the hotel owner was the biggest in size. I felt like it had the most importance, and it was also kind of associated with the strongest feeling. So I decided that I wanted to look at this guy more closely, and the next step in the process was to paint this guy. So in the first painting I did, this guy had his eyes closed, he was sleeping, and now I wanted to paint this guy again so that he had his eyes open. I could look at him, I could face him, I could talk to him and dialogue with him. It's kind of like the feeling that I wanted to face head on this person who I felt fear towards in the dream. And when I was painting, I also felt strongly that he had this weight on his shoulder, which I already painted in the previous painting, but now I felt it even stronger, and I felt like really I had to emphasize that. And then after I was done with the painting, I wrote a dialogue with him, which is a process of kind of like writing a play, right? You just can ask the dream figure anything and they can answer you, and it can evolve into a natural, organic discussion. So next I wanted to look at myself in the dream more closely. And in Jungian terms, this is called the dream ego, so the perspective from which the dream is seen. It's good to differentiate the dream ego from me, because essentially everything in the dream is just a reflection of some part of yourself. And the way that Jung described this is that I could see my dream kind of like a play, where I am the actors, all the actors, I am the scenes, I'm the playwright, I'm the creator, I'm the producer. So basically everything is a reflection from just a different viewpoint. And when we paint different dream figures, we're simply switching perspectives, which are alternative and can be compensatory and balancing from the other elements' viewpoints which appear in the dream. The question that I asked myself here is, what would be an opposite viewpoint or an alternative viewpoint to the dream ego? So I started painting this woman who felt to me to be like a polarity to the way I expressed myself in the dream scene in the beginning. So in that dream scene, I was kind of small and fearful. I didn't have arms or legs. It felt kind of powerless to me. So here I'm painting this woman who's taking up a lot of space, not afraid to do that, and this kind of feels just kind of like this fiery, empowered woman. Although I feel like there's still something not finished here, like there's also like some sort of aggressiveness here. So this isn't to say that one is good or one is bad, it's just that I wanted to explore a different viewpoint. So the next thing that I wanted to look at was this couple that came into the room with me. And because in the dream scene image that I did in the beginning, they were together in the same bed, I decided that I wanted to look at them as kind of a single element. So that's what I painted next. In this painting, I felt a beautiful sense of peace and connection between this couple. There was a sense of union, and it felt very spiritual, very numinous. There's something here that can't really be put into words, and had I not painted this image, I would never have seen this deeper layer that this couple held. I think a good way to approach any dream is with the attitude that you have no idea what the dream is going to say or what it has to say to you. So that opens up a wide range of possibilities, and that also opens up to the depth of the dream, which is something that we can never completely understand. We can never get to the bottom of. I hope that you found this process insightful and inspirational. I hope that you might find some ideas that you can try for yourself and your own dreams. And let me know in the comments if you do try this, how it went, or if you have tried to paint your dreams previously, how did you experience that, and maybe what were your challenges? So I'd love to hear your perspectives, and if you have any questions that you want to ask me, I'll be happy to answer them. Thanks for watching.